Food and Drugs Authority advises against purchasing products with non-English labels as the authority hints of compliance inspections. This and many more coming up shortly. Hello there, good evening and welcome to Business Brief here on TV3. My name is Michael Obodu. Let's check out some summaries of some other business stories that have been making their headlines earlier today.
In Business Today, Director of ESEP, Professor Peter Korte, has stated the anticipated second tranche of the IMF bailout funds is expected to contribute to a more stable economy. He further mentioned the expected inflows would assist the government in carrying out essential expenditures. Ratings agency Fitch Solutions has predicted a roughly 1% strengthening of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar in 2024. This is expected to position the currency as one of Africa's top-performing currencies for the year. On the international front, major airlines around the world have cancelled flights to Israel or warned of travel disruption as the security situation deteriorates. Virgin Atlantic warned of cancellations and delays to Tel Aviv, and British Airways has altered its schedule. Meanwhile, 3 U.S. carriers, as well as Air France, Lufthansa and Emirates, have suspended services.
Well, let's now bring our top story. With the Yuletide a few months away, the Food and Drugs Authority is urging the public to refrain from buying products labeled in languages other than English, emphasizing that this caution is for the benefit and safety of consumers. The development has become the norm during the festive season, and according to the CEO of the FDA, Delise Mimi Dakun, this advisory aligns with established regulations. She further mentioned that her outfit will conduct compliance inspections of warehouses to ensure that the products in stock adhere to the specified standards.
What we always say is that every product that comes into the country should be labeled in English or translated into English. So even if it has a foreign language, there should be English on the label. As Christmas is coming, we would like consumers to be aware of this. Watch out for the expiry dates on the label. Watch out and make sure that there's English on the label. Beware of what you are buying. Don't buy more than you can actually consume. We will also be working, and we've started already. We are cautioning importers, we are cautioning wholesalers, we are cautioning them to ensure that they do not push products to market women, they do not push products that they know are expiring to people who they know will then push them off to consumers. We will do what we've done every year. We will go out to warehouses and make sure that they will not push products out that people, unsuspecting consumers, will go and buy. Please don't buy more than you can have, and please look out, because you may buy something and go and put it home, and by the time you realize it and you're ready to eat it, it would have expired.
Government in the issuance of its 91, 182 and 364-day Treasury bills exceeded its target of raising 2.2 billion cedis. The short-term securities exceeded its target by some 466 million cedis as it managed to raise 2.57 billion cedis from the debt market.
The soaring interest rates on T-bills have been alarming for businesses and market watchers. Rates have now inched to 33%. One could argue that it's a great avenue for investors, especially considering the current macroeconomic conditions, the high inflation rate, the high cost of borrowing and the generally high cost of living. Market watchers, however, argue it is not as good as it seems, whether for banks, businesses or individuals.
Most people are not saving in the banks as such. They've all decided to turn to the Treasury bills because the Treasury bill has a higher rate. So even if you have 100,000 and you go to a bank and they will pay you about 3% or 2%, the same 100,000 can give you fixed for 1 year. You're going to get about close to 32%. The higher Treasury bill rates is basically crowding out the banks from cheaper funds so that they can lend cheaper to their customers.
As opposed to investing in Treasury bills, are banks confident in lending to individuals and businesses?
I think the answer is not exactly. And so a lot of credit analysis would have gone into it to look at the exposure of the sector to, say, the economic cycles, to look at the risk inherent, the FX exposure, and how the whole inflation and general macro uncertainty dynamics play or affect those sectors. Those will determine where credit will go. And so to the extent banks are not very satisfied about the health and long-term outlook of that sector or that business, they may not even advance credit. And it may not be because there is no money to lend. It is just purely because of credit analysis and considerations linked to that.
Currently, T-bills are government's only source for meeting its refinancing obligations. Is there a possibility of restructuring should the debt become overwhelming for government?
But in 3 weeks, government reduced the T-bill rate, 91-day rate, from 35% to about 18%, really. And you could do same if inflation recedes significantly, if the macro outlook improves significantly and the risk factors are receding. Same for 182-day. Within 6 months, you could reprofile all of it. And so the question becomes, what is the justification for restructuring that, especially when that is the only source government is able to raise money from the market now? So from the way I understand the dynamics, the concerns may be legitimate, but practically, I don't think they will restructure T-bills.
Civil society organization Environment for Development Ghana has unveiled research findings indicating that the fisheries close season is positively affecting the country's fish stock. Nevertheless, this progress is rapidly undermined when fisherfolk resume their trade. The president of the association and the Dean of Research and Graduate Studies at GIMPA, Professor Wisdom Akpalu, has emphasized the necessity of addressing this situation through comprehensive policies and active regulation of the space.
Because the season was closed, although there was some benefit, they quickly go out there because, I mean, the fisheries are managed as open access, where anyone who is a Ghanaian with a boat can go out there and catch. Within a short period, they actually extract that benefit very quickly. They extract the stock build-up very quickly, and then we come back to exactly what it used to be, which means that you cannot just have a closed season without complementing it with other measures or other strategies. So I am very happy that the ministry has started putting a moratorium on the number of canoes that can fish in our waters, so that you have closed season, but you also limit the capacity. And some of us are asking for the government to even go a step further by gradually weaning young fishers out of fishing, by providing them alternative or supplementary livelihoods. Over time, when they get to realize that there are other things they can do and derive the same benefit or even more benefit, they will see the need. They will not see the need to be in fishing, so we can reduce the capacity by providing alternatives to them.
Let's now turn our attention to the currency market and bring you updates. Well, so let's see how the dollar fares for the rest of the week. From the currency market, let's turn now to the commodities market and bring you some updates there. Well, cocoa has dropped marginally, $19, trading at $3,434 per ton. Gold, however, has gone up by almost $18, trading at just about $1,851 per ounce. And crude oil also up marginally by $3.75, trading at $88.33 per barrel. Well, that will be all for Business Brief here on TV3. For more business stories, our website 3news.com is there for you. Later this evening at 6, we bring you Business Focus. My name is Michael Obudu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe.
Step back, hands where I can see them, hands where
on this side, extremely juicy, very flavorful. They managed to get the spices to penetrate. The wache on its own as well, very good. The presentation, excellent. The carrots are cooked to perfection, crisp, tasty. The stew, the egg as well.
So yeah, no, so it's actually nice to actually have the traditional food with no extra trying to flare it up in the flavour type of thing.
Qualifying to the next stage of the competition. Sealing it for Group G. 272.